intuition nudge to have these nice little chats. Hey, what's up, guys? On YouTube, just because it's fun and helpful. That's been a real pull for me recently as I go a bit deeper into my mind. And good afternoon, a little late start today. Sleeping a little bit after a 10-mile hike around Prague yesterday. So good afternoon from Prague. I think a lot of bloggers have a tough time writing and publishing detailed content with some sort of frequency, aka being prolific. Now, I've been able to publish quite a bit of content over the years, and more recently long form, so just maybe more thorough, a little more detailed. So I wanted to share a couple tips via my latest post on bloggingfromparadise.com. So make sure you go up behind me if you want. You share this video, spread the word on YouTube, and also this space on Twitter, so we could get folks to check it out. It's my latest post, bloggingfromparadise.com, how to become a prolific blogger. And I wanted to flesh it out for people who wanted 6 tips to be able to write content more regularly. Of course, content is the base of your blogging success. If you publish helpful content routinely, thorough content, detailed content, you have fun with it. Hold on one sec. There's a cat getting into something. I shall return. You'll be able to help more people. And okay, you'll experience worldly blogging success, but more than that, you'll have a lot more fun with the blogging process. So being prolific is going to play a part in succeeding, pretty large part. So we'll dive right into the tips, guys. How to become a prolific blogger, how to publish content, thorough, detailed content regularly, frequently, to accelerate your success, and most importantly, to have fun helping people, because that's really what the gig is all about when you get down to it. So let's focus on tip number 1. You want to blog mainly for fun. And this goes for anything in life. When you're doing it primarily to have fun and primarily to help people, to be truly helpful, you're going to dissolve the mental blocks that create the writer's block, that create the tension, that creates just the, if you will, seizure in your mind where you're sitting down, you're writing, maybe you get 100, 200 words, and then you just don't dial in. You're just not able to write. The words don't seem to flow. Or if you sit down at your laptop, and I have a lot of bloggers report that they're staring at this blank screen, whether it's a Word document that's blank and the cursor's clicking, or you're in your WordPress back office and it's just staring at you as you're staring at it, and nothing seems to be happening. When you're doing it mainly for fun, the words are going to flow. It's going to be a lot more enjoyable. It's going to be a lot more fun, and the tension will lessen. It'll dissipate. As the tension dissipates, you'll begin writing. And as you begin writing more routinely, you kind of dive right in, you're going to find that you'll naturally become prolific. So you really want to focus mainly on doing it for fun in order to enjoy the process. And as you enjoy the process, the words just flow. If you're running into writer's block quite a bit, and you can't seem to churn out a post, you can't seem to sit down, the words don't flow, there's fear there, there's tension. And that reflects back to you some attachment to outcomes. So you're not doing it mainly for the fun of helping people. You're doing it because you feel like you need to write to make money. You need to write to get traffic. You have some strict, regimented, fixed posting schedule or publishing schedule to stick to. That's all fear, and that creates tension. And when you're tense, the ideas can't flow. But when you're relaxed and having fun and being in the moment, the ideas will flow from your mind to your laptop, WordPress back office, and you'll be creating content routinely. Gotta love it, guys. You gotta have fun with it. Tip number 2, how to become a prolific writer. Write 500 words daily in a Word document. Hold on one second. I just keep going back there. I don't want to like really eat it. Come on, buddy. Writing is a #1 skill for all bloggers to develop. Practicing your writing daily, offline, in a Word document, 500 words, write about anything. You could stick to your niche if you like, or if you just want to write about anything, it doesn't matter. Practicing your writing is the quickest, simplest, most direct way to become prolific because it's a muscle. In your mind, you have this writing muscle that when you flex it by practicing, you develop your skills, you get better at it, you become more clear, more confident as a writer. So then when you sit down to write a blog post, the world will flow. The world flows too, but the words will flow because you practice writing. It's really simple. Of course, most bloggers have a very difficult time writing and being prolific and slam into writer's block because it seems that the majority only writes when they sit down to write and publish a blog post. So they only write when they sit down to publish a blog post. For a lot of bloggers, this means maybe weekly, maybe every 2 weeks, maybe once a month. How are you going to become a highly skilled writer and a prolific blogger if you practice writing once a week, only when you sit down to publish a post? Have you ever become really skilled, proficient, clear, and confident by doing something for 1 hour a week? So at the end of a year, you have 52 hours of practice, or let's say 2 hours a week, or 3. No. Guys, let's get real. You have to do something to become really clear and confident and skilled on a worldly level now. You have to practice daily to become really good at it. Writing, just like any other skill. When you practice writing daily in a Word document offline, I'm not saying to publish content daily because thin content, 600 words, 500 words, maybe 700, it's not going to take you too far. Google loves the long form content, 1,500 words. Readers predominantly love long form content, and you just feel clear publishing long form content. So you might publish a post a week, 2 posts a week, maybe a little bit more, but in the beginning, focus on it, especially if you're struggling with writer's block. But it's not about publishing everything. It's about practicing your writing to gain clarity and confidence. So what I suggest to develop a sense of detachment from your writing, write 500 words a day, then delete the Word document to let it go, to be detached about your writing. So many bloggers slam into writer's block. They struggle. They never become prolific because they become so fear-based now. Every attachment is fear. You're afraid you're going to lose it. That's why you attach to it. Come on. We know this, guys. So heavily attached, so afraid of losing their post, their writing, just so heavily attached to each post and each word, and they're sitting there writing a post for a week or 2 weeks. Practice writing daily, 500 words, trash the document. You'll become so confident, clear, and detached that when it comes time to sit and write your post for the week or 2 long-form posts for the week, that you'll just do it seamlessly, organically, and it'll flow. But you really got to practice a lot. That's why it's a daily deal here. 500 words, get in there, write, trash, cover any topic you want. If you practice a skill, you become really clear in that area. You become highly skilled. When you practice your writing, you'll become a prolific blogger because it'll be easy for you to sit down over time now. You got to stick with it, to sit down in front of your laptop, open up your back office, WordPress, and to let the words flow. #3, guys, manage your energy. Writer's block is fear. So if you're struggling to become prolific, you're afraid that you're not going to be able to write. You're afraid that you have no ideas. You're afraid that your writing skills aren't enough, that your blog's not. There's some fear there. Every block is fear. Managing your energy raises your vibe through mind training to help you see above or through or help you dissolve the fear. So when you train your mind, when you're managing your energy, you vibe higher and higher. And the higher you vibe, the fear, the mental blocks that appear to be ceasing your writing skills. These are the energies, the ideas in mind that appear to be stopping you. An appearance is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. That junk dissolves and you write and become prolific. Exercising is really a wide range of practical strategies to follow. You could exercise, you could meditate, do Kriya Yoga, do Yin Yoga. You could read and apply A Course in Miracles, spend time in quiet, pray. There's a lot of different strategies for raising your energy, but you gotta go deep. I wouldn't suggest you do like 15 different things and dip your toe in here and there every day. I'm gonna pick a handful and go deep. Pick a handful, really stick with them over the long haul. And you'll train your mind, you will raise your vibe, and as you raise your vibe, you dissolve the mental blocks that appear to be holding you back from being your true, genuine, prolific self. Takes practice, guys. You're gonna have to manage your energy. And I have a sneeze coming up now. No, I don't. No, I don't. For me, I meditate daily. I read and apply A Course in Miracles. I have my daily workbook lesson, and I usually read a little bit more. Maybe I'll watch some videos on YouTube. An individual named David Hoffmeister, who's one of the, he's pretty much the elite Course in Miracles teacher, mentor. Do some Kriya Yoga, do some Yin Yoga. Of course, I exercise. But these are just practical strategies. Do prayer. Hold on a second. It's not about doing, it's not about action. These are just symbolic rituals that practically appeal to your mind. So I'm just tossing them out there. Exercise can be a real energy stimulant where you get things circulating. When you get things circulating in your mind, appears to be in the body, but it's really in the mind, you'll dissolve writing blocks, which are based in fear. And as you dissolve those blocks, you dissolve those fears, ideas flow, and you will organically, naturally become prolific. Number 4, read voraciously. Reading quite a bit every single day, at least a half hour to an hour on a daily basis, stimulates your imagination. And through osmosis, you'll become more prolific because you'll be reading skilled, prolific authors, bloggers, individuals who can really write. So the way it works, guys, is when you're reading persistently and patiently, you'll be appealing to your imagination. You'll be observing skilled writers and authors and bloggers in action. They'll inspire you. They'll influence you. They'll give you ideas. Then you could take that inspiration in your mind and apply it to your blog to become prolific. And I mentioned some of my favorite authors. It's been a while. I haven't been reading as much on the road, but George R.R. Martin, Lee Child. I've read James Patterson in the past. When I read these authors who are all incredibly, mind-numbingly prolific, I feel inspired. I pick up their words. I'm not copying them, but I just feel more prolific simply by feasting on the works of prolific authors. then I take that vibe, that mindset, and I apply it to my blog. So then I'll write and publish more long-form content on Blogging from Paradise. And you've probably heard the saying, leaders are readers. There's some truth to it. It's not all about acquiring worldly knowledge, but it could really be helpful when you're reading regularly. Keep your mind active, your imagination active, which allows the words to flow. Because prolific bloggers, those who write, have very, very vivid, active imaginations. They're very creative, and a lot of them really had to work at it. It doesn't come naturally for most people. We really have to go within and stoke our creative fires. And that's just the way the journey is. So these are practical tips that could help you if you follow them. Number 5, release bloggers plagued by writer's block. We all have our moments. We all do some complaining. I get it. You may be in blogging circles where individuals say, oh, I'm suffering from writer's block. I can't get through it. I'm really struggling. Very difficult time. Here and there, rarely, that's okay. But sometimes when you're networking in blogging circles, maybe you're at a point in your blogging career, well, you are, if you're obviously networking in these circles, where you're really struggling. You have a lot of fear in your mind holding you back, or fear that appears to hold you back. You'll subscribe to the theory, birds of a feather flock together. So if you're really struggling blogging-wise, you'll seek out other struggling bloggers because doing so feels familiar, safe, comfortable. And there might be certain times in your career, guys, as a blogger, where you'll look around and everybody will be struggling just like you. And one of the most common struggles, is a chief struggle, is writer's block. Almost every struggling blogger has a very difficult time being prolific. So if you're only surrounding yourself, let's say predominantly with bloggers who are struggling with writer's block, and they keep introducing into your mind, oh, I'm struggling, I can't get an idea, I can't sit down and write a post, you will take on that quality and struggle with writer's block as well. And you won't be prolific. It doesn't make any sense. I think the Jim Rohn quote, your life becomes the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Truth to that. I mean, we're all one mind, but when you see that the minds you choose to surround yourself with are going to have a profound influence as you're training your own mind, I mean, even though it's an illusion, just on a worldly level, you will understand why you have to release bloggers who are struggling to be prolific, who are complaining about writer's block all the time. I can't write. Let them go, forgive them, release them. It's nothing personal. And surround yourself only with highly successful, prolific bloggers, because they'll teach you, they'll inspire you, they'll influence you, they will inform you, educate you, lead you with their success, and you'll naturally take on their qualities and become more prolific yourself and succeed. It just makes sense. It goes back to the basic energetic truth. Birds of a feather flock together. Who you think you are in your mind, how you're thinking, what you believe. You will choose minds. You will select minds to surround yourself with that are highly resonant. Call it the law of attraction, energy, just call it a basic law of mind. So let go of the bloggers that are struggling to be prolific, that are complaining, that are appearing to infect your mind with some blogging poison. Forgive them, release them, let them go. It's over, it's done. You don't want to be that blogger anymore. Surround yourself with highly successful bloggers who are prolific and who will teach you, who will inspire you. Because when you're around folks all the time, blogging-wise, we're talking about publishing new content. They got these ideas and they got those ideas. You'll begin to take on their qualities and you'll become prolific yourself. You'll make uncomfortable decisions to become prolific. You'll sit with writer's block. You'll raise your energy. You'll follow the other practical tips on this list. And in so doing, we'll become prolific. And tip number 6, which I really like, guest post frequently. Don't solely only publish content to your blog. Don't write only for your blog, because there's a certain comfort zone there, familiarity, that really won't stir up unconscious blocks, mental blocks that are holding back your prolific nature. When you do some guest posting, you put yourself out there, you're going to trigger different emotions in your mind that have been holding you back, that may be really appearing to arrest your prolific nature, that appear to be fueling writer's block. You'll be exposed to more fans who love your work, and that can feel very uncomfortable for some people on some level. It could also inspire bloggers to keep blogging, to keep writing, to be prolific, because you know they're out there, and that's awesome. Number two, when you guest blog frequently, you'll slowly but surely find critics, because you're just putting yourself out there in the world. There's something symbolic to that. You're leaving the comfort zone of your blog. So these folks will be able to trigger fears in your mind around worthiness, success, failure, deserving, being rejected, criticism. It's such a beautiful gift to have someone appear to criticize you. And then when you explore those emotions, those fears in your mind that they help trigger, you'll be able to face them, feel them, express the fears, forgive them, let them go, which will help you become a lot more prolific. Because you'll see a lot of bloggers, a lot of the bloggers hold back from being prolific in part because they're afraid of what would happen if they were prolific, if they were out there in the world, if they were helping a ton of people for so many different reasons. And guest blogging helps bring up these fears quite quickly, because you'll be speaking, helping, serving, blogging for communities outside of your familiar, quote unquote, comfort zone of a community on your blog. So you'll come across more fans through this form of leveraging, who will inspire you, cheerlead you, tell you to keep writing, write another post, keep going. And that organically helps you to become more prolific. And then you'll face the odd critic here or there who are an equal blessing, because they'll trigger fears in your mind that you had to feel and release to become more prolific. It's cool how it works. And guest blogging is one of the quickest ways to do it organically, because when you get out of your comfort zone, we just have these comfort zones on our blogs. I do, you do, we all do, because it's familiar, it feels safe, it feels, and I know, I get it, you're going to seek out resonance, but when you put yourself out there in the world, and you start writing for different bloggers and writing for their communities, you're going to get such a really powerful mirror to show you your belief system. And more than the critics, guys, I get it. That could be a little uncomfortable, but it's really helpful, because they'll trigger the fears that have created the writer's block in your mind. But just seeing more fans come across your work who really love what you do and who appreciate you being truly helpful, when you see that, inspires you to keep going, to keep writing, to be even more prolific. And this is not coming from a place of force. It just means sharing your gifts with the world, to be truly helpful, to be uplifting, to have fun. And of course, the worldly success follows for you gradually, slowly but surely, but you really got to get out there and do it. So guys, I'm 25 minutes in. I'm going to stop and have lunch in a bit. You're in lovely Prague, another quote unquote moody day, which I kind of like. It feels very much like this region of Europe when you're talking Germany, between Germany and Poland. West, east, then you have Austria to the south. Kind of how it goes here, which I like. It's really, really cool. So we're loving here, enjoying our time. Follow these tips to become a prolific blogger. This is the latest post, guys, on bloggingfromparadise.com. So stop by that site, which is my site. And also, too, if you want to get the latest updates sent directly to your email inbox, on the homepage, you'll see a big banner. Subscribe to my email list. You get, whenever I publish a new post, I will send the updates to you, to your email. Email them out really quick and easy. I'm not going to fill your inbox with all types of long newsletters. And everybody has a different approach. I totally get that, but I don't do that. I just go click here, get right on my blog. I don't own the email provider. I don't own the email. I own Blogging Paradise, so I get you right there. You can call posture, clarity, whatever, confidence, but it just makes no sense. So works for me, and I feel good about it. So that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video or the space on Twitter, feel free to share it with your followers. Till next time, you know what to do. Enjoy paradise, everybody.